y'all, it's Brianna and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about a bunch of different Christmas traditions from around the world. And I have my phone here, so I'm probably going to be looking down a lot of the video, but I wanted to get this up and ready for you guys before Christmas. So the first one that we're going to be talking about today is the tradition of the German glass pickle ornament, which we actually have here, in case you've never seen one before. Just looks like a pickle. So the glass pickle shaped ornament was traditionally hidden last after the rest of the tree had been decorated, and on Christmas morning the child who found the pickle first either got a special gift or they were actually able to open their gifts first. And for adults, if an adult finds it, it's supposedly to bring good luck to them in the new year. Next, we're going to be talking about the Icelandic Yule Cat. It's a very long name that I do not want to butcher. So it's basically just another enforcer of good behavior in children. Basically, the tradition says that those who finished their chores in time for Christmas received new clothes for the occasion, while the lazy folk did not, so do your chores, kids. And the Yule Cat, which is as big as a house, is said to lurk in the Icelandic countryside on Christmas Eve and will eat anyone who did not receive new clothes for Christmas. There never was a better incentive to go shopping. So, basically, do your chores, you'll get new clothes. But if you don't do your chores and are on good behavior, you might get eaten by a giant cat. You never know. The next tradition we're going to be talking about is the tradition of having spider webs as a decoration in your Christmas tree. So the story goes that a poor widow and her children had grown a Christmas tree from a wee little pine cone, but once it was big enough to be decorated for the holidays, they realized that they actually didn't have the means to decorate the tree. So the night before Christmas, the spiders heard the children crying over the lack of funds for the tree and went to work and decorated it entirely themselves. So the family was elated to awake and see the beautiful webs that had been spun, shimmering in the sun to make their tree as lovely as anyone else's. I'm back. You might be able to see her head moving right here. Hopefully she'll behave for us. Okay. The next and probably my favorite tradition that I found is from Iceland. And I probably can't pronounce this one correctly either, but it means Christmas book flood. And it's a brilliant Christmas Eve tradition in Iceland that the rest of the world should take note of, which I completely agree. Books are everything. You're making an awful lot of noise over there. Yeah. Okay, anyway, at least she's being still. So basically what happens is, each year on Christmas Eve, Icelandic families exchange new books with each other, and then they'll spend the rest of the evening cozied up inside reading the books that they had given each other, which touches my bookworm soul. I can't even tell you how excited I would be to get a new book on Christmas Eve and to be able to sit there and read it until it's time to go to bed. Dream right there. Full on dream. Oh, one more cool thing about the Christmas book flood in Iceland. It is that the tradition pretty much came about during World War II because paper was one of the few things that wasn't very scarce. It was pretty readily available. So that made books a viable gift option. The next one we're going to talk about is Nisse. I think I'm saying that right. It's Nisse. Sorry if I'm not saying it correctly. But this one is actually from Denmark. It says, this creature of Nordic folktales has different versions in Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, but the Danish claim the origin of Nisse. Nisse is a gnome who wants to be fed. Families in Denmark must leave him sweet rice porridge on Christmas Eve, and if they do, he will be good. Hi, sassy girl. He will be good and bring them good fortune in the coming year. If they do not, it's believed he will play tricks in the household and make life more difficult. So, behave and feed the elf. The next one is the holiday Yule log. So the holiday Yule log comes from Norse tradition, and the burning of the Yule log is meant to erase the negativity of the previous year and bring good luck for the new year. Particularly in Europe, the Yule log is still brought ceremoniously into the house on Christmas Eve and burned through until Christmas Day, being tended with great care. Next is the Giant Lantern Festival in the Philippines. So this is held each year on the Saturday before Christmas Eve in the city of San Fernando, or the Christmas capital of the Philippines. This festival attracts spectators from all over the country and across the globe. 11 villages take part in the festival, and competition is fierce as everyone pitches in trying to build the most elaborate lantern. Originally, the lanterns were simple creations around a half a meter in diameter, made from Japanese origami paper and lit by candle, but today the lanterns are made from a variety of materials and have grown to around 6 meters in size. They're illuminated by electric bulbs that sparkle in kaleidoscope patterns. Next is the, I want to say, gavel goat. Don't know how to say it, I'm sorry. This is from Sweden. So since 1966, a 13-meter tall Yule goat has been built in the center of Gavel's Castle Square for the Advent. But this Swedish Christmas tradition has unwittingly led to another tradition of sorts, people trying to burn it down. So since 1966, the goat has been successfully burned down 29 times. I don't know why anyone would want to burn down a giant goat, but who knows. And the most recent destruction was in 2016. And if you want to see how the goat fares this year when it goes up on December 1st, well, I guess we only have a few more days until Christmas, but you can follow the progress on the Visit Gavel website through a live video stream. So you can basically go on and continually watch this goat to see if someone successfully burns it to the ground. Krampus from Austria is the next one we're going to talk about. So to sum it up, Krampus is a beast-like demon creature that roams the city streets, frightening kids and punishing the bad ones. No, it's not Halloween, but St. Nicholas's evil accomplice, Krampus. In Austrian tradition, St. Nicholas rewards nice little boys and girls, while Krampus is said to capture the naughtiest. Anyway, back to Krampus again. So, St. Nicholas rewards nice little boys and girls, while Krampus is said to capture the naughtiest of children and whisk them away in his sack. What are you doing? Stop you. Going from Santa's evil counterpart, Krampus, to a strange Christmas tradition in Japan. Basically, Christmas as we know it in the US, the commercialized lights and music and all that good stuff, is actually not so popular in Japan. It's more of a novelty. So people in Japan typically just have Kentucky Fried Chicken, Colonel Sanders, KFC, fast food Kentucky Fried Chicken. They have that for dinner on Christmas. I know it's a strange tradition to add to this strange tradition list, but I thought it was pretty interesting to know that it's very popular in Japan to have fried chicken for Christmas. Next, we're going to talk about the Yule Lads of Iceland. So, in the 13 days leading up to Christmas, 13 tricksy troll-like characters come out to play in Iceland. The Yule Lads, I cannot even begin to pronounce this. Yeah, we're going to call them the Yule Lads. They visit the children across the country over the 13 nights leading up to Christmas. For each night of Yuletide, children place their best shoes by the window and a different Yule Lad visits, leaving gifts for nice girls and boys, and rotten potatoes for the naughty ones. So, clad in traditional Icelandic costumes, these fellows are pretty mischievous, and their names hint at the type of trouble they will cause. Next, we're going to talk about a tradition from Norway. It says, perhaps one of the most unorthodox Christmas Eve traditions can be found in Norway, where people hide their brooms. It's a tradition that dates back centuries to when people believed that witches and evil spirits came out on Christmas Eve looking for brooms to ride on. To this day, many people still hide their brooms in the safest place in the house to protect them from these evil witches.
Another cool little tradition for Christmas, it's from... Really? Do you want me to talk about this one? Is that right? Tell me about it. Sexy girl. You're being so sassy. Come on. That is quite enough. Hey. No, man. Okay.
Another cool Christmas tradition comes from Caracas, Venezuela, where churchgoers on Christmas Eve, early in the morning, they head to church, but the twist is they do it on roller skates. Not really sure why, but they roller skate to church on Christmas Eve. And lastly, the one we're going to talk about is the Day of Little Candles in Colombia. It's Little Candles Day, or Dia de las Velitas. Probably didn't say that one right either. It marks the start of the Christmas season across Colombia. In honor of the Virgin Mary and the Immaculate Conception, people place candles and paper lanterns in their windows, balconies, and front yards. The tradition of candles has grown, and now entire towns and cities across the country are lit up with elaborate displays. Some of the best are found in Quimbaya, where neighborhoods compete to see who can create the most impressive arrangement. It's pretty much very similar to us having Christmas lights outside of our house and people driving around and neighbors competing to see who has the most incredible light display. I know these weren't very detailed descriptions, but I thought they were pretty neat little traditions and snippets of stories from around the world around Christmas. So I really hope that all of you have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays if you celebrate any holidays around this time of year. If not, I hope you're just doing well, and I hope you have a very happy New Year. I will see you in the new year, and remember to be kind, spread love, and stay curious. I'll see you next time. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.